Hey, this is Marcus L. Howard. So that's Twitter/Marcus L. Howard or MarcusLHoward.net. Today, I want to talk about 5 steps to getting more mileage out of your Twitter followers. I know that there is a ton of information out there on how to get more Twitter followers, and if you do have questions about those, please don't be afraid to hit me up on Twitter. So I just want to run through just kind of 5 steps to get more mileage out of the followers that you already have, and not really necessarily on how to gain more followers. But what you will find though is if you actively, excuse me, if you actively engage with the followers you already have, more followers will come automatically. So I just want to jump into it because I don't want to have this video be too long. The first step is to really just follow your friends back. You have to realize that websites like Twitter, Facebook, not necessarily MySpace that much, but a lot of the new social media websites, they're about being social, not antisocial. And I understand it seems like, especially on Twitter, a lot of musicians have the idea that you should only follow a certain number of people that should be your close friends, and everybody else, they're just fans, so you don't really follow them back. I really believe that is the absolute furthest from the truth. Like, I feel like Facebook is probably one of those mediums where you only follow back your friends. You don't really want to have fans there because you want to be updated on your friends' lives. Twitter is not the same thing. It's really about being social. It's about connecting with people. It's about letting them know that you mutually care about what they're doing just like they care about what you're doing. So I always say, and I always advise all my clients to follow your fans back. Essentially, it's a way to shake 100 hands at a time or 1,000 hands at a time. Think about it. If you've ever done a show, if you've ever done a concert, although it's great in the beginning, it gets really rough after a while to shake people's hands or to meet so many people or to engage with all your friends and fans. Well, essentially, when you follow a fan back or someone who's interested in you, once you follow them back, essentially you're reaching out your hand to go, thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for wanting to get to know more about me. I will reciprocate by getting to know more about you. Essentially, that's what it is when you follow them back. And it's really a great thing because you got to think about it. Imagine, I don't know who your favorite artist may be. My favorite artist actually just died. It was Michael Jackson. So I'll use, and I don't have a favorite artist after that. I'll just use Beyonce, for example. I'll use Beyonce as an example. If she was on Twitter, I don't know if she is. If she was on Twitter and I start to follow Beyonce, and I absolutely love Beyonce, just imagine how amazing it would feel if Beyonce followed me back. Then essentially that's saying Beyonce cares about me, and I care about Beyonce, therefore Beyonce is awesome. Trust me, it gives you that halo effect when you follow somebody. When somebody follows you, when somebody's interested in you, and they're following you, if you follow them back, then it's just like, I'm telling you, it's really, for most people, it's one of the best things that you can do. It's one of the best things in the world. It makes people really feel good. Now, I know that an objection to that is, well, if I'm following 5,000 people, if I'm following 10,000 people, then how in the world am I going to be able to follow my actual friends? Like, how am I going to be able to keep updates with just my actual friends? Well, there's really 2 things that you can do for that. You can either, so this is ways to cut through the noise. You can either, get a separate Twitter account just for your close friends, right? So you don't have to worry about all that. Have one account where you follow everybody. Have another one where you just follow your few friends. Or the second thing that you can do is use TweetDeck. It's a service. It's TweetDeck. I think it's .com, TweetDeck.com. You find it, but it's a great application that you can put right on your desktop. And in that, they allow you to create groups. So now you can be following 10,000 people, but you can set up a group just for the friends that you have that you really want to keep tabs on, and you will just see their updates. So it's a way for you to engage with both the big group and the small group. Jesse Newhart, if you go to twitter.com/Jesse Newhart, he has a great tutorial on how to use TweetDeck on his personal blog to engage with his fans. And I think he has something like 50,000 followers. And, I mean, he does it perfectly. That's kind of where I got this from. So check that out if you want to start using TweetDeck. I will move along. The second thing that really works like a champ is ask questions. Questions are a great way to engage people without engaging. Why? Because you can ask a question and have others answer it, but you don't have to respond to every answer. So it seems like you're reaching out to somebody. Like, psychologically, it seems like you're reaching out to somebody, but then in you asking the question, that's you reaching out. You don't have to do it again. So imagine if you ask a question and 500 people respond to what you just said. Now essentially you just connected with 500 people just by asking one question. Another great part about questions is it gives fans a chance to connect passively. You got to think about it. Just kind of go back to a time, or even think about it now, who your favorite artist is. If you ever met your favorite artist and you were in a room one-on-one with them, chances are you will be a bit quiet, a bit reserved, a bit shy, because you don't want to look stupid. A lot of people don't talk to a lot more people who they respect and admire on Twitter because they don't want to look stupid. But if you ask a simple question like, what's your favorite color? That's a very simplistic question, but still those questions work nonetheless. It gives them an opportunity to give a one-word answer so that they don't feel they don't feel crazy. They don't feel stupid for saying such a thing as just either blue, red, green, or anything like that. Some of the most popular questions that I've ever asked, got to honest, were, what was it? Crunchy or creamy peanut butter? What's for lunch? What's for dinner? Things centered around foods, around kids, around that kind of thing. Just popular questions that are easy answers to come up with. I'm telling you, they will really, really help you in engaging with your Twitter followers. Another thing that you can do, which it sounds weird, but it's very easy, is just post interesting stuff. There is nothing better than being interesting, especially if we're talking about social media where so many people are boring. If you are interesting, then more people want to follow you, more people want to engage with you, more people will retweet your things, and trust me, that's going to be important later. So don't just include updates from your life. Don't include just what you're eating for lunch, or that you woke up, or that you're at Starbucks. But tweet the most interesting parts of your life. So are you in the studio with somebody special? Do you have a show? Whatever the case may be, tweet those kind of things, because those are the really important things. Tweet interesting videos and articles. I'm sure you're on YouTube. I'm sure you run across things every day that you go, that's interesting. If you tweet that, then it gives you an extra dimension where you're not just talking about who you are or what you do, but you're also tweeting about things that you're interested in. And if people can find common ground with you, he's interested in that, or she's interested in that, I'm interested in that too, trust me, they will love you more, they will connect with you more, and they will, ultimately, the whole point is they will ultimately buy more stuff, buy more albums, go to more shows. This is the important part. A great thing to do, especially if you're a musician, is tweet where you are. I know a lot of people like privacy, and I'm not saying always tweet where you are. But if you do want to have an event where you know that you're in Washington, D.C., and you know that 1,000 of your Twitter followers are in Washington, D.C., tweet you're at a specific restaurant. And essentially that will let people know who you are. They can come hang out with you. Another thing that you can do is tweet that you left something. This is a gem that I shouldn't be giving away for free, but I'm doing it anyway. Let's say you go to a restaurant. Say I left anything. Like I left something special at this location, and then essentially you're going to have floods of people going to that one location to try to find it, and then you can say something like, the first person who mails it back to me will get something special. Essentially, now you're engaging with your people on Twitter, actually having them go do something. That's a really, really great thing that you can do. I have to keep moving because I only have 10 minutes. The next to last thing is find a common enemy. There is nothing better for unity than rallying against something with someone else. And the only caveat I have to that is do not do that with people. So don't do that with a person, but do it with ideas. For example, some great things to hate are airlines, procrastination, laziness. These are all things that you can pit against. Man, I hate being lazy. A lot of people hate being lazy. So that works. There are two things that you should stay away from, which is politics and religion. Don't talk about those two, but pitting against anything else that's not a person but an inanimate object works like a champ. I'm telling you, those really work. The last thing is retweet your fans' good news. You have to realize there was a study that just came out today, and today's date I think is the 29th or the 30th. It is the 30th of September. 80% of people tweet all about them. How great would it be if a fan is having a good day for you as a person who they respect and admire, that's where they're following you, to retweet their good news to your list, to your audience. Essentially, now you're connecting with that one fan. But the great thing about that is if you do it for one fan, so many fans are going to think that you'll do it for them too, or even just because you did it for that one fan, they'll feel like you did it for them. And so now they're going to start tweeting good news. They're going to start tweeting great things just for the hope that maybe one day you would tweet it back. That's a really powerful thing that you can start doing almost immediately to start engaging with your fans. So those are 5. I know I went through them really quickly. If you have any questions, please at twitter.com/Marcus L. Howard. You can ask me those questions.